The Sendero Group welcomes you to a new world of accessible location information. Visually impaired founders of Sendero have been developing accessible GPS for the blind since 1994. A blind person's toolbox of alternative tools and techniques should now include an accessible GPS. Some tools are for mobility, and some are for orientation.
Creating pedestrian route. Turn right on Singapore Lane heading north.
And then the challenging part, choosing and purchasing the appropriate tools, and then learning how to use those tools. Hey, are we having fun yet? Go ahead and ask yourself, are we having fun yet? But it's best to hear about the value of location information directly from blind college students, a mobility instructor, and a retired teacher as they explore the road to independence using their GPS tools.
Paige Bolden, student.
Attaboy. Left. Okay, it's finals week and I want to go get some coffee at the closest Pete's. Space D.
Destination set to Pete's Coffee Tea.
So now we want to plan a route there. So I'm going to press an R.
Route commands list.
I'm going to push a P.
Creating pedestrian route. Route created.
Okay, right? Inside. Oh, it just said we arrived at our destination. Finally. Good job, Lance.
San Francisco, one of the great cities of the world. Everywhere you look, there's something new to see. But what if you can't see? One of the best guides of this beautiful city is this man, Jerry Coons. And he's blind. Jerry has built his walking tours business around a system called BrailleNote. Essentially, a highly accurate GPS coupled with a PDA and Braille keyboard programmed with just about every tourist spot in the United States.
So, Anna, I think the best way to really understand how this all works is for you to try it. I just happen to have a blindfold. Would you put this on and then see what it's like to navigate with hearing?
Okay. I'm in San Francisco with a blindfold.
But see, I carry this around because whenever I see there's an attractive woman, I hand her the blindfold and say, take my arm.
Does that work?
Well, it did, didn't it?
Along with street names, major buildings and tourist attractions, the BrailleNote has listings of restaurants, bus and tram stops and everyday facilities like ATMs. It's accurate within 10 metres or 30 feet, and it alerts you within 200 feet when you approach them, or you can prompt for information at any time.
We're on Montgomery, headed down towards the Transamerica Pyramid Building, and we can find out exactly how far.
155 meters to a clock.
Oh, I've got to take a look at it. Oh, it's huge.
I can ask BrailleNote where we are, and it says
73 kilometers 1 o'clock to Golden Gate Bridge, South Tower, West.
Oh, I can't come to San Francisco without seeing the Golden Gate Bridge. Oh, wow, it's gorgeous. Well, I must say I've really enjoyed my blindfolded tour of San Francisco. It's one thing to come to a city and see all the sights that you see in the postcards, but it's a completely different experience to have the smells and the sounds intensified. And the BrailleNote here gave me that little bit of reassurance that I needed, that told me where I was every time.
Geocaching at a mobility conference.
I'd heard about geocaching, and I knew that GPS was one of those things that when you teach it, if you can find fun ways to teach it, it comes across so much easier, and geocaching seemed like an automatic game built in. And the fact that it was worldwide and that blind people could play it alongside their sighted friends and family, it just made all the sense in the world. We call this a treasure hunt. It's really the same as a geocaching course, but with our own twist.
Monument of the Immortals, bonus 60 feet.
And it's important that they see how it operates, how fun it is, so that they will in turn think of teaching it to their kids. This kind of accessible GPS information gives us what we call location literacy.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Fine.
Very good job.
It says, may peace prevail.
And nobody would find the sucker if they didn't have a GPS, because who's going to be feeling every post that you pass?
I like
This is perfect.
Mythbusters Blind Driving Episode.
Not only have they found the ideal location, but also the ideal driver, Jerry.
Jamie, howdy.
Glad to meet you.
Hey, man, good to meet you.
So you're here to do a little driving for us, I understand.
I certainly am.
Well, there are different kinds of blindness. There's legally blind as per the definition, and then there's can't see a darn thing blind. What are you?
No light, no nothing.
That's perfect. Are you ready to drive?
Hoo-yah!
More gas. That looks good. Okay. It's a good speed.
Wow, he's going about 20 miles an hour now. This is for real, man.
A little more gas.
Traveling over the limit in a residential area. Jerry is officially speeding.
35 miles an hour!
Jerry's final test requirement could be the toughest.
Now comes the last obstacle, parking.
Start to brake. Now turn hard left.
But it looks like Jerry will successfully avoid traffic school.
And stop. You made it!
You know, many things in life happen that bring people together. And Mike and I met some years ago, but we connected again and have become very, very special friends. I believe that our commitment is the same, and that is making sure that in our lives we can individually and collectively spread the message of accessibility for the blind. A lot of things that people that can see take for granted is the most important is a feeling of being independent.
For more information, visit accessiblegps.com or senderogroup.com or call 888-757-6810. It is better to travel hopefully than to arrive.